Good day, class. I hope you are feeling good today. So our subject is CPE 107, which is Technology for Teaching and Learning. So our discussion today is all about intellectual property rights on the development and use of digital materials in Lesson 21. But before we start, I want you to listen carefully and take note some important things you'll hear in our discussion. Please be guided with our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students can define the copyright laws, differentiate copyright infringement and plagiarism, and cite consequences when copyright law was violated. So now class, what is intellectual property rights? Intellectual property protection is important in fostering innovation. Without protection of ideas, individuals will not be able to enjoy the full benefit of their inventions and they will not be compensated for their creations. In simple words, intellectual property rights safeguard ideas and creations, granting creators exclusive control over their work to encourage innovation and protect against unauthorized use. Intellectual property, according to the World Intellectual Property Organization, or WIPO, it refers to creation of the mind such as inventions, literary, artistic work, designs, and many more. An intellectual property right is a right held by a person or by a company to have exclusive right over this. This World Intellectual Property Organization are focusing on fostering international collaboration to protect intellectual property through treaties and services. In our country, which is the Philippines, we have the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. This is a government agency that is responsible for administering and implementing intellectual property policy in the Philippines. It oversees various aspects of intellectual property. This includes patents, trademarks, copyright, and industrial designs. This office was created through Republic Act 8293. In the education setting, copyright and related rights are the ones applicable. Copyright is a legal right given to the owner of the original work or intellectual property. It gives the creator exclusive right to use, distribute, and reproduce their work. This helps prevent others from using it without permission. These works are original intellectual creations in the literary and artistic domain, protected from the moment of their creation, which includes the following: pamphlets, books, articles, and other writings, periodicals and newspapers, lectures, sermons, addresses, dissertation prepared for oral delivery, whether or not reduced in writing or other material forms, and many more. So, we should use caution when utilizing the internet, which is a highly rich source of these resources, regardless of the form or method of creations, content, quality, or intent. These works are protected only by the fact that they were created. Given how easy it is to copy and paste commands from our computer toolbars, we should endeavor to abide by copyright laws to avoid facing accusation of copyright infringement. So, what is copyright infringement? Copyright infringement is the use of works without permission, where the copyright holder has the exclusive right to reproduce, distribute, display, or perform the protected work or to make derivative works. Proper citation should be used when including them in our output. This can include unauthorized use, reproduction, distribution, or display of copyrighted materials such as text, images, music, and other creative works. Legal consequences can result from engaging in copyright infringement. So we have guidelines on the online use of copyrighted materials by Smaldino, Lothar, and Russell in 2012. The first one is, contrary to popular opinions, all materials on the internet is copyrighted unless it's stated otherwise. It is copyrighted even if it does not display the copyright symbol. Number 2, An email is an original work fixed in a tangible medium of expression that is covered by copyright. Hence, it is recommended that you should not forward any email without permission in consideration of both Copyright and Privacy Act. Number 3, downloading an article from a newspaper's website, making copies, and distributing them to your students prior to a class discussion on the topic is permissible. Number 4, you cannot post students' essay, poem, or other works on the school website unless you have permission of the students and their parents or guardians. The last one is educators should treat copyright materials from the internet the same way they do not to print formats. The best guideline is to always obtain permission. Now class, I want you to be guided with these 5 guidelines because this is very important for us, especially as a future educator. Now class, what do you think is the difference between copyright infringement and plagiarism? So, another violation on intellectual property is plagiarism. Although plagiarism and copyright infringement are related ideas, these two are different. Plagiarism, according to Plagiarism Organization, is an act of fraud. It involves both stealing someone else's work and lying about it afterwards. So, Plagiarism Organization further elaborates this following as a plagiarism. The first one is turning in someone else's work as your own, copying words or ideas from someone else without giving credit, failing to put quotation marks, giving incorrect information about the source of a quotation, changing words but copying the sentence structure of a source without giving credit, and last, copying so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up the majority of your work whether you give credit or not. To put it in another way, copyright infringement is the act of duplicating someone else's work without that person's consent, whereas plagiarism is the act of stealing another person's ideas and claiming it as one's own. Thus, plagiarism is an infringement on the rights of the author, whereas copyright infringement is an infringement on the rights of the copyright holder. It is important to remember that not all writers are copyright owners. In certain instances, the publisher is. Furthermore, plagiarism is unethical, whereas copyright infringement is illegal. Did you understand, class? Any clarification? So, can you now differentiate copyright infringement and plagiarism?